Welcome back. It is Thursday. It is Heroes and Hooligans, and I am not Mr. World. But we have a very special guest DM for the next couple weeks in replacement, in substitution of our Mr. Worldwide. We will be having Don as Mr. World. Hi, buddy.
Howdy. Hey.
Jason is off doing big brain boy things in other places, so we're hanging out with Don for a little bit. But that doesn't mean that we're not still doing shenanigans, because we are still doing shenanigans. So much so shenanigans that somebody should give a shenanigan recap that's not me.
That would be Shield.
No. Ayo, I'm still shoveling food into my gaping maw. Y'all give me a break. Man's gotta eat.
If you missed last episode, just know seniors on beach. That's all I got. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, we don't got to talk about that. We don't got to talk about that, but we could talk about right before that.
I can give a summary of the previous episode, but last episode, seniors on beach is my fire summary.
Seniors on the beach. It's all good.
Yeah, catch us up from the stuff aside from the NPC session that we had.
So session 27 started with us at Calthax, and a PNN reporter showed up and asked some questions. And for some reason, Hooli was evasive and then decided that Alvera wanted to be a PNN reporter. We went down, we talked to the Tinkerer, we asked him to build a bunch of defenses for the tower. We introduced him to the apprentices. He was not interested. Alvera challenged the apprentices to learn the Tinkerer's name. We spoke with the dead Archmage, learned who killed them, which was the Shadow, the stealthy one, the talented Hawk. We asked why they killed them, and they didn't say. When we asked, do we know of the war coming? They said they spent so long trying to avoid the war, keeping the delicate balance. Any protections on the island? They're like, many. I'm like, of course. And there's a letter that we were supposed to take in case of the Archmage's death to Justine, but we happen to know that Justine is already dead, so that's a little bit interesting. We retrieve the letter, find out who, in theory, this person was appointed as his successor. Is a person named Lifka that Alvera is not very fond of, because they're apparently an evil necromancer. And then we wandered off to Matria via teleportation circle, or via Ivy's teleportation circle. And when we arrived there, we started wandering down from the top of the lighthouse and were attacked by three figures who basically, once they couldn't quickly kill us, teleported out of there, saying something about the Citadelia de Titadi as they teleported out.
Yep, they were some hoes. So.
Yeah, something I recently realized about those individuals is they're all charisma-based folks. And I wonder, were these sneaky bitches from the House of the Heart, where people are using their charisma to convince folks about their message and things? I'm wondering. Somebody's playing with us, and I don't like having games played with me.
Yeah, I like to play in games, not with something like that.
Right.
Are you worried they're going to try to recruit you?
No, I'm worried that I'm some child's plaything somewhere moving around, and I don't like it. That somebody else is controlling my actions in this world, and I don't like that feeling, as if someone's pulling my strings from high up above. It's a little fucky.
I would just like to keep my position as the new Archmage, so I will obviously have to kill this other person. It's just gonna have to be what happens.
That's how it works, right?
Right. I'll have to die. I'm sorry.
And then, did you guys? No, Beach Day was separate, right?
Yeah, that was was our fireside day, our rest day. It's our
Okay.
rest day in Matria, where we kind of just talked about our plans moving forward and what we need to do.
Right.
Speaking of moving forward and what we need to do, I think, are we bouncing back to Calthax, boss lady?
Yes, ma'am. We are. We're gonna
Check out our
pop back over
kiddos.
there, check on the kiddos, loot, and then we'll come back.
All right. So you go ahead and do your teleportation circle, correct?
Yep.
And Ivy casts the spell, as you guys have seen before, and you guys find yourselves back in the lighthouse at Calthax. It looks similar to how it was when you left, maybe a bit clean. Seems like the acolytes might have, tried to clean up a bit or something, but as you enter, it is just you returning to this place. What would you all like to do?
I would like to search the ex Archmage's office to find a staff of power.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Right in front of my fruit salad. Okay. Investigation. There we go.
You need assistance? Oh,
A
that's a good one.
17.
Okay, yeah. And without much trouble, you guys kind of walked around a bit last time you were here. You make your way back up to the Archmage's office, and you do find a very finely carved staff that, as you look and investigate a little bit, does appear to be a staff of power. It's the Archmage's office. There's a desk where he would have sat. There's a bunch of books that you assume at some point would probably be cool to read. And leaning up against the wall, like behind his desk, is the staff.
You want me to identify it? Make sure it's what it is that you need?
Yes, please.
All right. I'm going to spend my 10 minutes to ritually cast identify on this to make sure it's what we need and not some necromantic sorcery bullshit. We
Right.
need any more nonsense crap running around.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna do some arts and crafts with Sunny, and make something out of a sun, in the symbol of a sun, so I can slap it on there for my disguise. As
Like a
sun
macaroni
cleric.
fun.
Yeah, we're just gluing macaroni together on a little
Damn
piece of paper.
Sun Shuby.
We have a pair of paper plates that we've glued macaroni to make a macaroni sun.
Yeah.
The staff.
And if
Yeah.
anybody asks questions, you just tell them it was a project from your Sunday school group and you wanted to carry it everywhere with you, damn it.
Feels a little like blasphemy.
And you lean into Sunday school.
Yes. Yes.
That's you in
Sunday.
all caps.
No, sun-day.
Yes.
Sunday.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's good.
Um,
How are the
Talatized
acolytes? I want to check on these little acolytes, see what they're up to while we're here.
Sure. You walk through the halls a bit and go looking, and you do find Selenium. Seems to be like trying to clear some debris from whatever happened here. And he kind of looks up and he's like, "Oh, you all came back."
Yeah, just checking in on your kiddo, seeing how things are, picking up a few shits, Hey, did you figure out the Tinkerer's name yet?
I have not yet, but we're working on it.
All right, well, keep working. It's a good challenge. Any news? Anything important? You guys doing all right? Nobody came here, messed with you, none of that. You guys, everything all right?
No one's been here. We kind of took what Ivy said. We've started trying to clean up. If there's a chance we might be all that is left of this place, we have to do our part. What about you guys? Is anyone coming to help? What's going on?
Well, no, probably nobody coming to help. People are assholes out in the real world, so stay here in this nice, pristine library. No, I don't really think any on some serious shit, buddy. I don't think anybody's coming to help. When we got to Matria, we got bum rushed. We got freaking bum rushed. You'd be glad you weren't there. It was hella rough. We got bum rushed by some assholes, beat them up a little bit, then they took off, and then that's just about how our trip has gone so far. Because then we decided to come back and check on you. We were a little bit worried, you know.
They basically ambushed us when we came out of the lighthouse on the circle on the other side, and so wondering if they're maybe have gone through and like put ambushers at a bunch of the lighthouses.
Yeah, it felt like they knew we were coming.
Yeah,
I don't think they realized it was us. I think they were just trying to jump anyone who was coming out of a lighthouse.
yeah.
They were expecting people to be coming from here.
Yeah, out of Calthax. Because if the PNN showed up right before we left last time, so clearly they know something happened here. So if they saw us, they probably had the assumption we were going to travel. So
We did kill one too, on purpose this time.
yeah, we killed him, and then his bitch ass friends drug him out of there.
Wonder if they'll stay dead.
Good
Not
question.
with an unholy necromancer walking around these parts.
I guess better you than me. I'll
That's fair.
I'll take cleaning up the library over killing guys if that's okay with you.
Keep doing push-ups, by the way. I told you, every time you do a cantrip, you do an exercise. Keep it up.
Okay.
How about the defenses around here? Are they up and running?
We haven't really gotten that far yet. We were kind of cleaning everything up. It's definitely on the list, but right now we've kind of got most everything cleared out of the way. And you did, like I said, notice that as you came, the bodies seemed to be like pushed up against walls. Things seem to have been like mopped and swept up. So yeah, we're getting ready to do that stuff probably in the next couple days. Double check the defenses and make sure everything's up.
You should dispose of those bodies first before they got a chance to come back as something awful. I thought we were cleaned them up before when we were here, but maybe I just thought we were going to do it and we didn't actually get to get it done. But the bodies, let's put that at the top of your list. I don't know, burn them, throw them in the fucking ocean, just get them off the island. I don't care. Do a nice Matrian funeral pyre. I don't care how you do it. Just do it.
Why don't we get them together and I'll do a ceremony over them?
That's a good idea.
Burn
That's
them
a good
and
idea.
burn them to the
That
sun.
sounds fair. So you guys do. If you give me a minute, I'll get the others, and Selenium goes and gets the others, and brings them back, and they all help you prepare the ceremony.
We'll do a funeral rite.
Okay. Anything specific that you want to say or do with that, or it's up to you?
I know they didn't follow the sun, but they lived under the sun, and as all things will be under the sun, they should be allowed to settle and not be disturbed in their rest. For while the sun sets, it will rise again, and as they have passed on, perhaps they will rise again, but not as undead while I'm watching.
Selenium will kind of come up and thank you. That was nice.
Just because I follow the sun doesn't mean I think everyone should have to, but it would probably be a good idea looking at Ivy.
I'll be like, I think I'm warming up to the idea for sure.
Warming up.
Warming up.
I would like to unsubscribe from this newsletter.
No, it's a lifeline subscription, a lifetime subscription.
You should say a little invite and
You're in for
You
life.
get a couple of acolytes under your care and you
Enlightened.
turn into somebody's dad over here with these jokes.
Yeah, and I gotta tell that joke. This is my role. I didn't want this role, but it was thrust upon me, so therefore I have no choice. I'm gonna give him some little snacks. I'm gonna be the soccer mom with the snacks.
Snacks. Everybody loves
Listen,
snacks.
I don't know how to show my appreciation
what-
to you other than snacks.
So what is create food and water like? Create a fucking Kool-Aid jammer and Rice Krispies.
Yes.
Yes.
All my years of magical training have led me to Rice Krispie treats and Kool-Aid. That's all
Fuck.
I've studied.
This is very off topic, but this conversation just made me realize I haven't had Kool-Aid in I think in 3 years.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a hot minute for you, friend.
Where's my wife? I need hold up.
Before we leave Calfax, I'd like to investigate with a 21 for any other potentially helpful magical items or anything like that that we could repurpose to our care.
Sure. You find quite a few like staves that are, arcane focuses. But as you're going, you do find 2, I believe, that kind of stand out. They seem to be either at first glance, they seem like they're very well maintained. But at this point, you would then, after a moment, recognize the familiar like cleanness that being a magic item, prevents rust and dirt and everything. So over time, you would realize that there are a couple of other special stabs there. And if you took the time to, ritual identify or whatever,
I will do that.
you identify one as a staff of healing
Bingo.
and the other as a staff of spiders.
Ooh.
And I believe I got both of those off D&D Beyond, so you should be able to find them on there. Sorry, I don't have GM things in there.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're good. I think they're in there. I think I saw them when I added my staff of power.
Okay, so we have 2 extra staffs, one for healing and one of spiders. Perfecto. Yeah, I'll bring them back to my group after I'm, while they're doing the funeral stuff and cleaning up, I'm doing rascal things, and I'll find them and bring them back and say, hey, I found a couple of other fancy sticks that do magic shit if anybody needs or wants one. This one, I think, does some healing according to my magical studying on it, and this one's spiders.
Spiders?
Yeah, spiders. Hopefully giant ones. Maybe I could ride it.
I don't know if that's exactly what you think it is.
Probably not.
I don't think it conjures or brings about spiders. I think it probably does some poison damage. I mean, it would be cool though if it did. If it did, that would be really cool. Maybe you could work with that and figure that out, Elvira. That seems more like it's kind of your alley,
It might be. Plus,
Kinda
I
your
could poke
thing.
somebody with a stick. I like poking people.
You could also scare them because it has a spider on it.
That's true.
So you could just, And then I think while we're doing the funeral rites, I will take the beautiful macaroni necklace that I made in arts and crafts session upstairs and give it to probably place it on the Archmage as like a tribute.
Okay.
Be like, I know you didn't know me, but I'll do a good job. I'll take care of.
Yeah. You didn't pick me, but I promise I'll do what needs to be done.
Right. I wasn't really chosen, but I am the chosen one. So.
Yeah.
Imagine training for an untold amount of time in the mystic arts just to get assassinated, and then somebody puts macaroni art on your corpse for a religion they
Exactly.
don't even believe in.
Listen.
Hey, Dalai Lama, I'm sorry.
I can
Here's
make
here's
I
my
can make
Damascus moon.
some
I
Rice
made it out of
Krispies.
pasta.
I'll put some Rice Krispies on there and some Kool-Aid.
Are we gonna pour one out for the fucking Archmage, man?
Yeah, put some Kool-Aid.
Shit.
Yes.
All right, well, let me get my rum.
It's okay. We're pouring one out here. It's all right. It's all right.
Jesus Christ.
Was there anything anyone else wanted to do while you guys were here at Califax? Or I guess what would you all like to do next?
So I understand it is predominantly a wizard tower, but just while I presume me and Sonny were doing most of the heavy lifting to move corpses in place and all that. Just while we were around, is there anything that looked more like physically minded, like less a staff and more some kind of a stabbing or slashing or bludgeoning instrument?
You find like a few daggers and a couple short swords. There probably were some wizards here that knew how to use a weapon, but it seems like being a library in a wizard tower, most of the people here had more things like staves for arcane focuses and tended toward more magic when it came to that.
Yeah, right on. Small bicep stuff. Understandable.
But I do believe, yeah, like I said, whatever you guys would like to do, if you would like to take some of those, like I said, they're certainly weapons. They're not like damaged or anything, but they aren't magical weapons. Otherwise, what would you all like to do? Are you going back to Matria? Selenium probably actually would ask, like, what are you guys doing next if when you went there you got attacked?
Maybe we should. I think there were things that we wanted to look into around Matria. There's a reason we went there. And we got a little bit distracted and then realized we should check in with you guys and make sure that we actually left you set up and we realized that we kind of left quickly and they're like, we should make sure you guys are cool before we disappear.
We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean,
we plan on coming back periodically and keeping checking in and things. And if you guys find a sending scroll in your cleanings and there's a problem, don't be shy about sending something. And we'll check in sometimes too.
Definitely. I mean, like, we're just trying to get by. It's all shocking and everything, but the world keeps moving. We have to, like you all said, figure out what's next and keep this place alive.
I'm sort of like distractedly not telling them where we're going because I think Alvera had a plan and I don't want them to accidentally know things and have trouble from having information.
Right. And honestly, he probably prefers it that way. As much as they want to be adventurers, that first shock, the way they got it is a pretty big shock. So he's not really pressing that much for information. He was just kind of curious.
Okay. Be like, we'll bring you some souvenirs though if we find anything cool.
T-shirts. My parents went to Matria and all I got was this crappy T-shirt. Exactly that.
There you go.
I can almost guarantee there's a shop that sells that probably.
Yeah.
Get the little keychains that have their letters of their name. Some mugs.
Yeah, just a letter, because none of those names are probably going to end up on keychains because they have millennial parents who named them things that nobody else names their kids.
Correct. This is just the burden of being a nepo baby, you get a name that's not on a mug. What can we say?
I need to go back to Matria so we can see if we can find Shield and Sunny something helpful inside.
Yeah. Definitely. Yep. So you guys do so. You do your teleportation circle. You find yourselves back at the lighthouse. Kind of take a minute looking around, taking it in, listening. worried that maybe someone else is here again, but it seems to be just you all as you return. And if you would like, you can certainly go out into the town and look for a shop. Is that what you all are doing?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys kind of... What was that?
No, I was just agreeing. Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you guys go down the steps and make your way out. You see the beaches in the distance, but instead of turning towards them, you turn in towards the buildings, and you make your way for 20 or 30 minutes before you come across a relatively small storefront building with a like hand-painted sign that says MRE across it, and coming down below it, it says Mikhail's Radiant Emporium.
This seems like the place to get some weapons.
Can't hurt to look.
You all walk in, and a little bell goes off over the door. You hear some shuffling in the back. There are a few display cases. It doesn't look super well packed. Seems like kind of a small establishment. But there are a few things. You see in one display case a necklace holding 4 bright orange, like pearlescent like stones. You see there we go. You see a golden circlet that just honestly looks like a pure, perfect golden circle. And after a few moments, a rather elderly, probably middle-aged to elderly man comes out and he says, "Oh, hello. How can I help you today?"
I think Shield was looking for something. I'm looking at Shield as I say it.
Well, me and my friends are in a moderately to severe dangerous line of work, and I was looking for something to help myself be a little stronger.
Oh, okay. Are you looking to avoid taking damage, or are you looking to deal some damage yourself?
I can take a hit plenty well enough. I think I'd like to hurt people just a little more.
Okay, well, if you give me a moment, he kind of shuffles back, and it seems large and heavy for him, but he pulls out a large warhammer. And he says, "There's nothing very fancy about this, but it'll help you hit things better. Deal more damage. It's very, very powerful. It's enchanted. But I also have," and he pulls out a long staff with like a curved blade on the end. And he says, this is a weapon that will deal damage that is much more difficult to heal from. And a few days times per day, where was it? You can deal some extra damage to them. For reference, the Warhammer is a +2 Warhammer, and then that is a Glaive of Wounding. If you were interested in either of those, they're both right around 2,000 gold pieces.
Shield will turn and look at Elvira. How much money have we got? Just gonna
You
break
just-
the
Gonna
bank?
Break the bank?
No, it's not going to break the bank. You just tell me what you need, and we'll see what I can get us for a good bargain. I'm pretty good at talking to people. You know this, Shield.
Of course.
Well, if it's
Oh.
a bargain you want, is there something else you all need?
Yeah, we need a few things. My friend Sunny over here, and I'm going to put my arm around Sunny's shoulder, real camaraderie-like, is needing something shiny that will make them extra healthy if you have anything like that around. And my tree, which we left outside, also needs shiny things to make it a shiny tree.
Let me see what I have. I do in one of the display cases out there, I do have a very nice necklace of fireballs. There are 4 beads that you can throw, and it creates a fireball. Let me see. And he goes digging in the back a bit, and he comes out with 2 amulets. And he says this one, similar, was one I was going to offer for some defensive protections. This one will make you harder to hit and make you better at avoiding things. It gives you +1 to, it's an amulet of protection, +1 to AC and saves. Or I have this amulet of health.
I like that last one.
The amulet of health. Okay, and shield, which one do you want? The hammer or the glaive?
Sorry, one sec. You got me right in between bites. I'm a lot more familiar with glaives than hammers, so I'll take the glaive.
Okay. So the glaive, the amulet of health, and what is it that we wanted to get for Sai?
I don't remember.
The one that'll give them +1 to AC is probably good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I don't know if there was a specific. I think Sai wanted something to put in their branches or around their trunk that would be overall helpful.
How much would it cost us for all of these things? Since I got a fat sack of gold here with your name all over it, Mr. Shopkeep.
If you'll take all 3, I'll knock 200 gold off the total. Each of the amulets is 800. The glaive is 22, so call it 3,600.
3,600, I say, as I bat my birdie eyelashes in a very persuasive 27 manner. What do you think about what did you tell me the price was again?
36.
Originally 38, discounted to 36.
What would you take 32?
How about we make it 33 and I'll throw in a greater healing potion?
You know what? Deal. 33 it is.
So you can put those down. Again, everything there should be on D&D Beyond if Huli has GM God powers.
I do not.
But so you guys do your shopping, you exchange the gold, and he hands over the items. I think each of those requires attunement, honestly, but you guys aren't really doing anything. So obviously, walking around or whatever, you can attune if you would like.
Yeah, Shield and Sunny, you can just add yours to your thing. What did you say the other one was named? The other amulet, not the health, but the other one.
Amulet of protection.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm real, I want to say D&D Beyond has Cloak of Protection, not Amulet, but it functions the same.
I think it has both.
Okay.
I just want to write it down so we can
Yeah.
make sure Sai gets it on their sheet.
Yep, and that gives +1 to AC and saving throws.
It has ring or cloak. It does not have amulet, but
Yeah,
ring would work
but-
too.
Yeah, you can put either character sheet, and if
Yeah, we'll just put it as a ring. That's fine.
yeah,
Ring.
if they prefer it as a ring or a whatever, it doesn't super matter.
I'll hang the ring from a string in their branches and it'll look like a shiny sun catcher.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Just for clarity's sake, for the glaive of wounding, is it like the same effect as the sword of
Yeah.
wounding?
Yeah,
Okay,
yep. Just a glaive instead of a sword.
right on.
All right. And so you said it was what kind of health potion? Superior?
Greater.
Greater.
Great.
Greater.
Okay,
I
I'll
think
add
that's the
that.
middle one.
I think so. Potion of healing greater. Yes. Let me add
Okay.
that. I'll add that to my pouch of things. I have a bunch of our
Yeah.
healing potions and everything on me. So, all right, good. I've got that. Got size things. So we accomplished what we needed. Everybody got something shiny and fancy and new. Everybody feels good. We feel powered up. High five you, Mr. Shopkeep. High wing. Actually, sorry, I don't have fingers to five you. I've got feathers to wing you.
Sure. I mean, you guys have money. It's kind of a vacation town. I don't do a ton of business, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
for
the sun
everything.
shone on you.
Your shop is nice. Bye. Bye.
It's the least dusty place we've been in this whole blasted town of Matria. Jesus Christ.
Like I said, it does still like fit that. It's very small and like put together, but he, like I said, he has some like glass display cases on stands, but it is very just like bare wood. But you guys make your way back out. What is it you would like to do? Where would you like to go?
According to my beach day itinerary that I took notes on when we were hanging out, friendos, we wanted to return to Calfax, which we did. We wanted to get some shiny shit, which we also did, and then go to the House of the Heart, right?
Right.
Yep. Where's the House of the Heart?
I think we could probably ask you over there, young man.
Yeah.
Hello. We are looking for the House of the Heart. Do you know where we could find it?
Why would you want to go there?
Why wouldn't you want to go there? Anyways, do you know where it is? Whether you want to go or not, irrelevant. Do you know where it is?
Yeah, if you follow that road outside of town, they're on the road half mile out. It's a huge place. You can't miss it. If you hit the cemetery, you went too far.
Okay, thanks. Here you go, and I'm going to flip him a copper piece. Appreciate you, and I'm going to tell my friends. We got to go that way, and if we hit the cemetery, we went too far. But we shouldn't visit the big place.
And you guys do. You follow those just directions. You walk through the town as you go. You notice this early in the morning, there's not a ton of activity. You all, I assumed, woke up relatively early, went to Carfax. It's been a couple hours, but it's still like 9, 10 a.m. Most people here are just waking up and making their way down to the beaches to hang out and just relax. And you all make your way in the other direction out of town. As you walk on the road after about an hour of walking from where you had been through the town and out, you do see a large building coming up on the right side. Think almost like a Parliament building or like the White House, just like a very large hall. And beyond it, another couple miles down the road, you do see what would appear to be a cemetery. Further along, there seems to be this like dark shadow hanging over the cemetery.
Well, that doesn't look good.
As much as I like dead folks, I don't know if I want to hang out with those dead folks, because that place gives me the freaking creeps.
Definitely not ominous in the slightest.
Nope.
Very
sunny.
What'd you say, Sonny? I'm sorry.
Graveyards are supposed to be bright and sunny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like not a kind of graveyard with people I want to go hang out with. It kind of creeps me out. Why the hell would the House of the Heart build their place next to a cemetery?
I mean, the cemetery is another probably mile and a half down the road. It's not like right next to.
Next door, bro. That's still next door.
But yeah, across like over, you see like 2 large wooden doors, and carved into like the marble granite above it, it does say like House of the Heart. You see a few people walking around outside. And would you all like to walk towards there and go in?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we see any heraldry outside of it before we as we're approaching? Like, is there any sort of banners waving, anything like that?
Yeah, so like it's like I said, it's kind of like a wider building. And on the ends there, like their banners, and over the sign, or the door, it does say that. You see, like I said, a few people walking around wearing robes of different bright colors. But yeah, there's definitely like identifying iconography and banners and things going on. As opposed to Califax, both in the state when you got there and in general, this place seems to put a lot more energy into it.
Yeah, that makes sense. We got to be in the right spot.
Should we just walk in?
Well,
we should
approach, but let's just remember that not only Mashulu sinks ships, but also loose lips too. So maybe we don't talk about anything aside from, House of the Heart things.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't going to say anything. I figured you wanted to do the talking, but
I don't really want to, but I can.
I mean, if you want, I can talk to them. That's fine. I just want to.
I just think you and Sunny have more of a cheerful disposition.
So what are we trying to learn from them?
Yeah, that too.
What do we want to learn?
I think we were trying to figure out their association with Emperor Justinian, because remember, he was being advised by the House of the Mind and the House of the Heart, to see if they knew anything about. I don't really know how to navigate it now that we're here and thinking about it.
I think now that we're here, I think the main thing is that we're trying to get a vibe. Does it feel like these people are in danger, or do they feel like they have something to do with what happened on Califax? I think that's the main thing that we're trying to figure out here.
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously, we can't really say that out loud, and they don't even know I'm a wizard. I'm like your illegal cleric. So I think that maybe we should go about this in a sort of like, hi, we're new to the town, and what do you guys do here? And try to, I guess, kind of get perhaps a feel. And if not, we can just look at Shield and be like, Shield, knock a couple of them out, and we'll go in disguise. That's plan B.
I was gonna ask, do you reckon they'll be open to us at all? We're outsiders, so if we're poking around too, obviously they'll completely shut down.
Right. So I think I don't know. Does anybody have? Maybe we should say we were here to visit somebody, like a cousin.
I'm not above bludgeoning one of them in the back of the head, and
What if we tell them that we're? What if we tell them that we are interested in joining them, and that's why we're here? We wanted to do like a tour before we join them, like a college visit.
Alvera, how many cults is this now?
Okay, first of all, I don't have to answer that. Both of my clerics advised me against answering your shenanigans, Shield. Second of all, we don't know that they're a cult, maybe just an organization or a club.
Shield is going to gesture wildly at the graveyard, quote unquote, next door to the ostentatious Parliament building.
Okay, I think Elvira has a point. Let's just do this. Plan A. Okay, we have two plans. Plan A is that we go in there, we try to act like we're want to join their organization or club or what it is, and see how far we get. If we don't get very far, then we go to plan B, aka Shield knocks out like 4 of them, we all dress in disguise, and then we just go in there and try to blend in.
Yo,
Sunny, yes.
We don't blend in.
What if we just go ahead?
I know that Alvera is good at disguise, but Alvera is still an owl. I'm still me. Shield is Shield. Maybe Ivy, we can disguise you as things, but the rest of us are like kind of obvious.
I tend to not blend in very well. This is true.
I mean,
I think that what we need to be doing is seeing if they will talk to us and asking questions like, So, like, we know that the Emperor just got assassinated, right? That's what we've heard.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
Do we just want to ask them questions about that? Like, and just like, I'm pretty good at reading people. You know, if they
Sure.
get all clammy and like look guilty, I might notice.
Right.
If they look guilty and I'm not good at hiding it, and they think that's bad, maybe they'll jump us. But that would feel a little bit weird.
Well, could Alvira maybe pose as a pigeon for a minute?
Wait.
You did have journalistic aspirations, as I recall.
That's correct. We can just, if everything goes badly, we can just say that Alvira is here as a journalist.
No, look, we all might know the difference between an owl and a pigeon, but how good are their eyes?
Yeah, we just said Alvira and asked for PNN Network and asking for an interview.
I don't have my PNN credentials. We haven't gone there yet for me to be able to do
Listen,
something.
I got some scissors and some glue. We can make that really fast.
Macaroni.
Macaroni. It's fine. We can do it.
Listen, my thought was, all right, you guys are
written
crazy.
in crayon while you're at it.
And you guys think that I'm the rascal. Listen to you with your macaroni posings. What for serious though? What if you remember the rumor that's been circulating around Matria that they're researching a way to beat death? Do you think the House of the Heart is involved in that? Maybe we could tell them that we're young and aspire to help establish this. I don't know, man. It's just a thought, but I don't think we should go in and skull bashing right off the rip. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I think we can go up and just try to talk to them. And see where that gets us. Well,
Okay. So you guys kind of enter. There's kind of like a wooden fence. It's nothing super protective or fancy. And as you get about 20 feet from the door, one of the individuals walking around approaches you. And you see the smiling face of this 28 to 32-year-old woman. And she says, "Welcome. How can I help?"
Hi, I'm Sunny. I've heard about this place and was wondering if I could talk to someone about it a bit.
Sure. Most of the elders are in discussions right now, but I could talk to you if you'd like. What do you want to know?
What do you do here?
Well, here at the House of the Heart, we have many aspirations and things that we do. We are advisors to the Emperor of Asperon, I believe. As well as here, we handle a lot of the communications out of Matria with other places as well. We make sure everyone is comfortable and safe. We have a lot of functions that we serve all around Matria and the world, helping advise. The elders have been in discussion since the rumors came in.
Oh, what rumors?
Well, you know that the Emperor died, but war is never going to be here. There's no war in Matria.
What happened to the Emperor?
I honestly don't know. That's what the elders are trying to discuss and figure out. I'm not really in on those discussions at this time, but they're going to handle it. It's nothing that you should really worry about.
I want an insight checker, please, with a
Okay.
19.
19? Okay. She seems genuinely to be a comfortable, happy person. You being as familiar with people and as you are, as a bard, you can definitely tell that it's probably something that she's learned over time. It's not necessarily, she's definitely putting on a facade, but it's hard to tell, like, specifically if there's anything specific she's hiding or if she is just genuinely, like, the super happy customer service person where no matter what you say, they're smiling, they're happy, like if that's just what her job is here.
Since Sunny and Ivy are the ones up front doing the talking and I'm just kind of like observing from behind, I'm going to link with Sunny and telepathically communicate, keep her talking. She knows more than she's letting on.
How does one get on the Elders calendar? I'd like to have a discussion with one of them.
Shield would like to generally post up and keep a lookout in case some unsavory types seem to gather at any point.
Okay. And for the most part, like I said, there are a few other individuals that seem to be milling about and doing random jobs out here, doing upkeep and that kind of thing. They move around. Some of them might get close at points, but none of them make any kind of aggressive move or seem to be necessarily paying you any more mind. Meanwhile, she says, well, it's kind of a vote thing. You've been here for a time, and then you essentially work your way up there after having been with the House of the Heart for a long time. Like I said, they are kind of in quorum right now. I don't know if I can take you to them, but I could probably take you to a waiting room and they could see you in an hour or two.
Is this one of these things where like you could look down from above and watch them do their thing? Is this like a congress, or like is this
more like a private meeting?
It's more of a private discussion just amongst the elders as they discuss what's the significant news in the world and what direction the House of the Heart needs to take.
Right. Is there any way we could get like a tour of this? I mean, this looks like a beautiful building. I would love to know about the history of this building. It looks amazing.
I can certainly give you a tour on the way to the waiting rooms if you'd like.
Oh, that would be perfect. Yeah.
Can we have the scenic route?
Like you want to see the outside?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And I guess one thing I should have clarified as you went, it's kind of like uphill. And this is actually, you see that the building is kind of built onto this cliff overlooking the beaches below. And she says, well, as you can see, we do try to keep up with the yards as good as we can. We clean the building daily. It was built years ago when Matria was founded. Around the same time that the House of the Mind was, the House of the Heart came to foster other types. And as the House of the Mind, we have gained influence over the years. And she says, and she opens the door and gestures so you can all like go in. And you come into this very large, open, you walk into a big building and you're in like the rotunda. It's just kind of open and you see two hallways. There's a door on the left hallway, and you see a couple of people just kind of standing there. They are wearing armor and have weapons on them, but they seem to be guards. They're not like taking aggressive motions or anything. She instead tries to steer you and lead you down the right hallway. And she says, this is the rotunda. You come in here when they're not in session. You can find the elders in here discussing things. But when they are, we have a waiting room down over here. She leads you down this hallway that, has giant paintings and seals and all different kinds of artwork along the walls as you walk. And eventually she leads you past a few closed doorways and then turns to one on the left and opens it into like a very lush waiting room. There's like a table with some fruits. There's like plush chairs that you can sit in and recline in. There's a small fireplace with like 4 pieces of wood stacked near it. She says, if you wouldn't mind waiting in here.
Okay. I'm sorry, miss. We didn't catch your name. We don't want to be rude.
Of course. I'm Lavinia Esnamore. I'm one of the outreach when we get visitors and tourists. It's my job to greet them and if they need help being shown around town. So we may see each other again.
I just have one more question before you leave us, Lavinia. I'm very curious on the architecture of this place. Like you said, this was built around the same time Matria was founded. So that's been what? Probably about 100 years. That means that this place has got some pretty interesting shit hidden in it, doesn't it?
I couldn't say. I haven't really looked around.
That's fair. One last question. This is a wonderful room, but if we have to go to the bathroom or something, is there like a separate area we can?
Oh, just around, and there's kind of like a corner where like the table with the fruit is, and she says just around it in there there's a room where you can clean up and refresh yourselves if you need.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This has been such a joy.
is there like a pamphlet, an info pamphlet, has a sort of map on it or anything? Kind of talks about the building and all of that.
I'll see if I can find some literature for you.
Got a gift shop?
Unfortunately, we do not. I'm sorry, sir.
Dang, our
Disappointing.
kids would really like to have shirts.
Oh yeah.
We have children. We're parents. Did you know that? All 4 of us.
She looks very awkward, like you've broken through the facade slightly, like she doesn't really know how to respond to that. Let me find that literature. And she kind
I'm
of
just going to give her this, like, very... whenever I notice that she breaks her sort of customer service facade,
Yeah.
I'm going to give her this very, like, telling smile, one that's like, I'm onto you sort of thing, but like, yeah, we're all parents together.
I love all 9 of my children mostly equally.
9. I thought there was 4.
No, the 4 of us. The 4
The
of us.
4
have-
of us.
Oh,
9 children.
I thought there were 4 acolytes.
No, there are. We're just lying to her about how many kids we have.
How do you know?
That's fair.
I'm assuming that you're talking about the acolytes because that's the only way Sunny would be thinking of this as like, we have children. Okay, I guess they're kind of they're the kids.
And she kind of closes the door and goes off. After a few minutes, she returns with some like flyers that just kind of, it's government pamphlet flyers. If you ever went on like field trip to a government building or something, where they just kind of
amazing.
Yeah, not a ton of super useful information. They're an organization, that advises several significant people. They do train spellcasters, and essentially that they are a significant government body, essentially, to some, not without like a legal government really in Matria. They are one of the like larger overseeing organizations that keeps the peace and keeps everyone going.
Here at the House of the Heart, we're synergizing to strategize, to organize.
Exactly.
You know that's what it says in that
A
pamphlet.
brighter tomorrow. I honestly picture Matria like Orlando, Florida. Like it's a beach town where people go to retire, right? Like
Yeah,
that's how I
exactly
picture it. So they are like the Disney tour guides. This is
I
what
love that.
exists in this town.
Please do not engage with the princesses. They can't speak to you.
Okay, so we're here. Has she left already?
Yeah, she closed the door and walked off to find some literature. As you guys talk and do whatever you want to here, she does return like 10 minutes later, like I said, with those flyers, and then leaves. And you guys kind of have the room to yourself. Like I said, there is some like bowl of fruit, like a welcome basket type thing on the table, maybe some pieces of bread in there,
Oh, sick.
some water in like a pitcher, and some glasses or clay glasses.
So are we gonna like break into somebody's office, or and I'm gonna look at everybody like, what should we do now? We've got a couple hours to kill.
I was just going to talk to them and just see if they seem sketchy. I mean, I don't know. Like, a little, I sort of feel like that we're trying to figure out if they're being a little bit panicked and upset about the recent change of who the emperor is.
Oh, no, you can't have that. Sorry.
I think a little bit we've learned that like they're upset enough that they're all hanging out in one room together, arguing about what they should do. Also, she kind of said they didn't have any troops. And so like, if anyone comes and tries to kick down their door, they're probably just going to get their teeth kicked in.
Probably, yeah.
Because, I don't know. I guess they had a couple guards near the door, but...
Definitely not enough. I think...
I mean, it's not like they can go to Matria and conscript troops. All their troops would be like 75 years old.
I mean, you're not
I'm
wrong.
just thinking about a senior citizen army now.
It's that one episode of The Simpsons.
Exactly.
Not much.
my gosh.
Lavinia returned with some government flyers.
gosh.
Lavinia returned with some government flyers, and you guys were kind of discussing. Ivy asked if anyone was gonna like break into someone's office or do anything, because it seems like you're gonna be waiting here for a bit until the quorum has ended.
Yes, our legal cleric said that they would like to talk to the elders and figure it out. And your illegal cleric is saying we should break into somebody's office or room or whatever and snoop around.
So you want us to break into offices?
I mean, listen, I think that in the meantime, we might be able to get some sort of information that we can then ask a little bit more pointed questions, or, you know, at least ask some questions and then figure out whether or not they're being truthful to us instead of kind of being like, let's get a vibe check. I
I
mean,
wish our tree wasn't so opposed to being inside. They're a much better sneaker than me. But if we're sneaking, we could at least do it invisibly.
this is true.
I bet. All right. I'm going to sit in between you guys by Sunny and Ivy. I'm assuming Shield is still posted up, kind of keeping watch. All right. You just don't let anything happen to my body, okay?
Okay, a strange request, but one that I can do.
You see Alvira kind of go limp shortly after she says it. She doesn't really give you time to reply. And her eyes are normally like this bright turquoise kind of color. They kind of glaze over to this sort of black. And as they kind of glaze, like this swirl of green smoke kind of waves across it. I'm casting see invisibility so I can pop myself into the damn ethereal plane and see some shit, because I want to see some shit.
Okay.
Oh,
Give me a perception check.
Okay, I'm good at that.
I will catch your limp body before it like keels over or whatever. I will lean you back and put your head on my shoulder and then put some macaroni glasses, sunglasses type on your face
This is a
to
weekend
make
with
you
Bernie.
look cool.
Weekend
like,
at Elvira's.
You just Alvira's sunglasses that are sitting on her head, you just slide them down. So she's like looking at weekend at Bernie's shit going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got a dirty 20 perception check.
Okay.
During the duration of this, it's an hour long. I'm able to see invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible, see into the ethereal plane, and ethereal creatures and objects appear ghostly and translucent. So it basically puts me in a different plane of existence where I can see skeletally like the bones of the building and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I am familiar. So with that perception in the ethereal plane, what you will see, this was actually a significantly easier DC because of how you did it. You kind of take a second to look around, and you can kind of see through walls. They take on kind of this like translucence, and you see the hallway. You do see a couple offices across the hallway, and as you kind of do a 360, and you look at one of the walls with one of the paintings, it's very strange because you can see the painting there. It's just in that translucent spectralness, and then but behind the painting it almost looks like there's a person.
Oh, sick.
Like there's like a secret chamber on the other side.
Yeah, something like that. The eyes in the painting are moving type.
So somebody's watching. Okay. In order to allow me some movement, I guess I should have did this beforehand, but I'm going to do it anyways in simultaneous. I'm going to use one of my bardic inspirations to do the bardic tale that allows me to be invisible. So while I'm in the ethereal plane, I want to be able to move as well. So I'll burn that up a little bit so I can do both things. I want to be able to move around a little bit.
Right.
I don't remember what the hell it's called. Let me see. It is Tail of the Phantom. It allows me to become invisible. And if anything fights me or I fight it, it's going to get frightened and stuff like that. But I'm not trying to fight anybody. I'm just wanting to move around and scope some shit out without actually even leaving the room, as far as anybody knows.
Yeah. And you do so. So you like going out into the hall, or?
Yeah, so I saw the person behind the thing. So I want to see if I can like find like a secret entrance, or if they're hiding something, and she clearly was lying to us. And so I want to know if there's something they're hiding here. It's a very interesting place of where they built. It's very old architecture. I'm just trying to look around for any of that kind of stuff.
Sure. So if you go out into the hall, as you're looking, the wall seems solid. Like the wall and painting seem to be solid there. There doesn't seem to be an entrance to this secret in this room. As you move into the hall, you kind of look, and you had heard her footsteps go off to the right, back toward that like entry area, welcome area. So you kind of decide to go left toward where you saw what looked like maybe some more waiting rooms and a few offices down the hall. And as you get to the hall, you do see some stairs leading downstairs into some kind of basement or cellar. Or there are, like I said, looking through the doors, you can see a couple what look like waiting rooms or a couple offices if you'd like to explore any of the offices specifically.
I could check around the offices just because I know my friends were curious. I'll do that while I look around, see if there's anything.
Okay.
I rolled one investigation before you had asked, and that was a 14. It wasn't a very good one.
Okay. So yeah, and it's kind of a weird situation because you are sort of in this invisible ethereal plane, right? So like you go in and you see some documents, at a desk that you would expect to see in some kind of government or school building office. You see like some filing cabinets with some information, probably a shelf with some books. And it's kind of hard to read. You glance through some of the documents. You see one that says like directives for new like peacekeepers. And it talks about like something called a soothing station. And mentions 3 major directives. It says keep calm, keep peaceful, keep happy.
Okay.
The rest of it, like I said, a lot of the papers are written in like this very fine scrawling hand that's kind of hard to read through that dimensional shift. But otherwise, like I said, there are documents in here. You do see like an office that has documents. There's not, you see like a staff leaning up against the wall, but no like outward weapons or anything like that.
Okay. And the stairs that were leading down, was it just like a staircase or was there a door at the bottom?
Nope, it does like there's like like a rope blocking it off. And you can see the form of another what looks like 2 guards standing near it. Near the entrance, but there's not like a door. It just seems to be like a stairway going into some kind of basement cellar.
Okay. Okay. I think that's everything that we wanted to be able to kind of find any offices. I couldn't really go through in the ethereal plane. I can't really interact with much material stuff, so obviously I can't pick it up, but I found the stairs down, which could be a interesting place since it's back here on this side, and some paperwork. So,
the rest of you, while Alvira is doing that, is there anything you all would like to do in the room specifically?
I think I'm just killing the time until Alvira gets back by making macaroni art. I think that's kind of my new like mom hobby.
Okay.
Is doing
passion.
macaroni arts and crafts. I think I'm making a necklace right now, and that's probably what I'm doing. Just making a macaroni necklace.
You're gonna make enchanted items later that are like enchanted amulets of protection
Oh
that are a
my
macaroni
God.
necklace.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be like, and it's gonna be great because people are gonna look at it and like underestimate its power, and it's gonna be like an actual like really
Yeah, like
really
a legit amulet of protection. It's just made out of macaroni.
Yeah,
like,
you
listen,
just
my kids helped me make this, okay?
you just get a piece of macaroni chucked at you, and then they just look at you like, "What are you throwing macaroni at me for?" And you just smirk at them, and next thing you know, it's a fireball macaroni, and it blows up at your feet. And you get your ass burnt.
Exactly.
A chain shirt made out of macaroni elbow links.
Yeah.
I just
go.
see Ivy with this kind of like crossbody bag that's like kind of crocheted boho style mom bag. And, you know, normally like the millennial craft thing now is knitting and crocheting, but your craft bag is full of like string and macaronis and some like little cards and stuff. Yep, that's exactly canon for Ivy now.
My entire personality now is moving forward. It's gonna be macaroni, Rice Krispies, and Kool-Aid. That's gonna be everything my character does. It's just and throws fireballs every now and then when shit hits the fan.
Create food and water and then get out
You're
the
just-
packet.
Ivy's macaroni mom now.
Yeah, listen, I'm making everyone macaroni friendship bracelets. Okay, fine.
All right, I'll snap back out of it. I'll end
Sure.
the spells and stuff.
I
Sure.
think when Alvera first goes like limp, Sunny's fangs like pop out, and she's like, and then like kind of catches herself, looks around real quick, puts them away, like okay, and hopes set her down, like nothing
Sure.
happened.
Shield will finger wag because I know what you're like.
And Alvira, how long does the like see invisibility, and how does that work when you end? Do you like come back into the room and then like go back into your body, or is it just sort of like, bro, you're there and then you're back?
Yeah, I casted the two things together to kind of give me the opportunity to move. Usually I don't do it that way. So
Yeah.
the invisibility spell lasts an hour, but
Okay.
my the way that I cast invisibility on myself, because I didn't
Right.
burn a spell slot for it, it's one of my bardic inspirations.
Yeah.
It's only the length of a turn. So it would
Okay.
only really give me the one full movement out and back,
Right.
really.
Okay.
So
So with that spell still going, what you notice when you come back, you no longer see the figure behind the painting.
okay. So I will make sure to whenever I snap back out of it, I will tell everybody of the rooms that I saw, that there were some offices, some papers with the keep calm, keep peaceful, keep happy written on them, and that there's the staircase down. And I will also point out the painting. And when I talk about the painting, I'm only able to link with one person telepathically at a time. So I'm just going to do them like consecutively to each person to tell them like without saying it out loud after, mumbling about other things.
Yeah.
I'll tell them about the painting and how there was somebody standing behind it and now there isn't.
So I think it's safe to say that we've aroused the suspicion of at least somebody here. If not the receptionist, definitely somebody.
I mean, they're pretty obviously a spy organization. Like, of course we arouse curiosity.
I think this is going to make it much harder to break into somebody's office now.
In a few moments after Alvira comes back, there's a knock at the door, and Lavinia comes in again, and she's smiling again. The quorum has taken a recess, so Elder, let me double check here. No, sorry.
You're good.
I'll be like, Livy, welcome back. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm giving her a nickname now.
Heartsman Hallian Gresnora has agreed to grant you an audience. And you see a elderly man with like a long white beard, balding on the top with like some white hair that kind of flows down into his beard. And as he comes in, Lavinia closes the door and he says, "It's great to meet all of you. What brings you to Matria?"
Oh, we're just curious about this place and what you do here and what it involves being here and, what you think of what's going on recently. And I just trail off to give him a chance to get a word in edgewise.
I understand. Yes, we have indeed heard of the tragedies at Calfax and with Emperor Justinian. News does travel fast as the bird flies, But I assure you that we here at the House of the Mind are dedicated to charting a clear and positive path forward, and we have this completely under control.
Do you think there's any chance that there's going to be like a conflict or a fight or anything? I'm totally trying to read as much into him, get insight onto him as much as possible to see how nervous and such he is.
Sure. If you'd like to give me a insight check, you certainly can.
I would like to silently cast Zone of Truth.
Okay. Okay. I believe everyone in the area makes a wisdom save. Is that correct?
Actually, that is the charisma saving throw.
Okay.
And it is a 17.
Okay.
Let's see.
I fail.
Okay. I think all that happens if you fail is you cannot legitimately not tell a lie, right?
Nat 20.
Nice.
Yeah, where were all these last combat?
It just says you create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on its turn or starts it there makes the charisma saving throw. On a failed save, it cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. So he knows I cast the spell, but I know if it worked and if he's lying to me or not.
Yes. So I believe it was Sunny and Ivy. You feel this magic come over you. You know a spell has happened. You know that you cannot tell a lie. Elvira, you know that Shield and Hallian both passed the save and the spell did not affect them.
Yes, but knowing that it is he knows that I cast the spell, he'll be a little bit more careful on his deliberate lie telling.
And Sunny, if you wanted to give me an insight, you definitely can to try and read him.
23.
23.
Yeah.
Great. So he seems, like I said, elderly, but as you look, you realize that he is fit, very like monk-like. And you can definitely tell that he is not being completely open. You can tell he's being guarded. You can tell there are things that he does not want to talk about, but you also can tell that he's curious. All of these things are going on, and now your party has just shown up. And he may not necessarily have known who you are, so he is on edge. He's definitely, like I said, not being completely forthright and honest. He's definitely keeping things close to chest and hiding things. But like I said, there's also a sense of curiosity at who and what you are. And essentially, I would say you can probably, with what you guys were talking about before the knot came and everything going on, further cement that what you would expect from some kind of spy organization. He's not necessarily, it's hard to tell if he's necessarily good, bad. You don't think he's outright lying. He does believe they have things under control or they will react to it. But he's also not saying things as plainly as he could.
Okay.
I think I will say to him, that we can speak plainly here, with a very telling smile. Clearly, he knows that magic is at play. He doesn't know who was doing the magic, but I'm just going to tell him flat out, like, bro, you can speak plainly. Like, we're big kids here. We got 4 kids.
I understand your concerns, but you must understand a man in my position can only afford to speak plainly with those he knows and trusts.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me offer you something that offers you a little bit of trust with us. And I will use minor illusion
Okay.
to recall the memory of the shadow dragon assassin.
Okay.
So just like a little minute long memory, I'll use my minor illusion to do so, to kind of make like a little hologram to show him the little bit of stuff we saw when we landed at the lighthouse.
You're doing like brief flashes, minor illusion style, you know, the bodies, figure in red walking up behind, drawing out their swords, looking, finding the tinker, and the shadow on the ocean, the shadow dragon on the ocean. And Sunny, with that insight, when she's doing this, you would probably see there is a look of recognition, and something that you might have expected to see that you don't would be you don't see particular surprise or shock. Like, he recognizes what he's seeing, he's heard the stories, and especially when the Shadow Dragon comes, there is a look of recognition, but you don't see the like shock at the sheer loss of life that you would expect.
So he already knew that this had happened.
They had been in discussion, so they had gotten they also get pigeon news. So like they had heard rumors, and that was kind of what the discussion was. So yeah, it does seem like he already knew this had happened. He's seeing it. But like I said, you might have, even if the House of the Heart and House of Mind didn't always see eye to eye, they were both advisors to the Emperor. You would expect some kind of like shock or grief over, you know, a colleague or
Does he seem happy about it?
he seems indifferent.
Okay.
He seems indifferent, and going with that spy whole thing, I will say you also can tell that this is a man who has spent many years in politics and secrets. This is someone who knows how to hide what they truly think a lot
He's
of the
good
time.
at masking, so there isn't, just because I'm not seeing anything doesn't mean he doesn't have a feeling about it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's not shocked or he's not happy or something like that, but you can only notice what you're not seeing and put the pieces together.
Right.
So you've showed me this, but I ask again, who are you and what are you doing in Matria? The House of the Heart will have this handled. We are still in discussions about how to proceed, but I can assure you that we are aware of the goings on in the world.
Well, it's more so an assessment of your safety. If somebody is tearing down your counterpart, curiosity to know if you were next.
I assure you we are discussing that very possibility.
Oh, I'm sure you assure me of a lot of things. Like, you know, I'm sure you're assuring me the same way a mother assures a child that everything's going to be okay when their bone is sticking out of their leg and they're trying to get them to shut the hell up. So assure me all you want to, good sir. But you don't seem to offer any sense of remorse on the subject, so that doesn't really look too good on your part, in case you didn't know that about yourself.
Would my mindful colleagues have shown emotion and grief if the roles were reversed? I thought they were all about solving their problems with logic.
solving your problem with logic doesn't mean that you don't still feel emotion. They probably feel emotion as much, if not more, as you do. They have just learned ultimate suppression meditation techniques, so to allow themselves to use their minds rather than their emotions.
It honestly tracks. It tracks.
Well, that's what the Vulcans do. They have a lot of emotion. They just meditate to suppress them. So
That's right.
Yeah. We are deeply sorry for the loss of life that occurred at Calthax and for the seeming loss of the Emperor. But unfortunately, those things have happened, and we have to think about what to do next. If we are a target, who is going to succeed Emperor Justinian? There are many things that we must discuss and figure out. But I guess I'm questioning what exactly you hope to add to that conversation.
well, we kind of really just don't want to see the realm fall into chaos. Clearly, there's some powers at play here that are pushing in that direction. Assassinated emperors, whole houses of logic falling. That just screams chaos to me.
Maybe a better question for you is, what do you need? If you're going to keep the realm together, what do you need help with?
Those are the very discussions that we were trying to have. I apologize, we can get quite heated. We all feel very strongly about these things, so trying to figure out what we need and what we should do next can take us quite some time, unfortunately.
Oh. Well, when you figure it out, send me a sending, and maybe we can help.
And you are?
I'm Sunny.
Sunny.
Mhm.
We'll be sure to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so since you feel so strongly, Heartsman Helion, how do you feel about the potential cure for death? What's your passion say about that?
I don't know anything about a potential cure for death. I do know that the
You
lagoons of
haven't
this
heard
island...
about Matria then.
I do know
Well,
that our lagoons can help with many ailments, but I've not heard of something that can reverse death.
Oh, well, allow me to learn you something. Okay? Good. Glad we're on the same page here. Let me teach you something, right? So there's this guy apparently here in Matria who is working on the cure for death. And it's circling through all of Matria. We heard it from some very elderly individuals who were hanging out on the beach. One of them chain smoked like a crazy person, sounded really insane too when they talked. But they were talking about it. This young man, what did he say his name was? He was a lifeguard, Handuk. This young man, Handuk, he said there was some young mage working on the cure for death. You have to have some feeling on that, don't you?
I
Are you
mean,
guys supposed to have eyes and ears everywhere in the city?
it would be impossible for us to have eyes and ears everywhere in the city.
I
you could
sometimes
step
dream
out.
of 6 impossible things before breakfast.
You could literally step outside your building and everyone's talking about it. There's no way you didn't know.
As I was saying, I do know our lagoons do have some miraculous healing properties.
Mm-hmm.
If you're worried, perhaps you should visit our Black Sand Beach. It's known to cure all forms of depression, anxiety, worries. That may help with all of these quandaries you're facing.
Shield is
Yes.
gonna nudge Sunny. Sunny, you smell that? Horse shit.
Oh. No, I didn't smell that at all.
I look at Sunny. I think it was a figure of speech.
Oh.
So you don't know a lot of answers to a lot of things.
Oh hell, this slimy prick knows way more than he's actually talking about. This
Well,
is
that
going
was-
nowhere.
That was my
I'm
point,
sorry, I
Shield.
didn't
That was
get
my
your
point.
names either.
My name? Oh shit! I failed. Hold on.
They seem very fixated on the bigger picture and not paying attention to local stuff. That makes fine. When they need hands on the ground, they can send me sending, and we can maybe help. We're pretty capable and functional. You know, even if I'm a little bit blunt and I look at Shield. So keep this in mind when you need help with something that actually needs to get done. And thank you for taking time to speak with us. We understand you better now. Do you mind if we go?
Goodbye. I'm just gonna walk. I don't want him to know who I am. And I can't lie. I'm just gonna keep walking. I'm gonna be like, okay, bye, have a great day. And then I'll be like, wait. Come back. I pull out the macaroni necklace. and then I put it back because I'm like, you're not worthy, and then I just leave.
Do the rest of you follow Ivy? No one tries to stop you. Lavinia opens the door for you. She follows you out, and as you're like leaving, she says, "If you have more questions, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to show you around sometime."
Thank you. You were very pleasant.
Thank you. You're so nice, Livy. And then I give her the macaroni necklace.
Thank you. I will treasure it always.
Wonderful. Have a great day. And then I walk away.
Mr. World,
Yes.
in the vicinity of this building built on the cliffside, does
Yeah.
there happen to be any other buildings built nearby?
Not particularly. You're about a half mile outside of town proper. There are probably like a grove of trees along the side. The fence is maybe 20 feet from the side of the building. And beyond that, there's probably like a small like copse of trees, 6 or 7 trees just growing in a group. But it does seem rather isolated from the city proper.
So the rumors that were circulating were Livka was working on it in his tower. I'm
Yeah.
trying to ascertain if there's a tower anywhere in the vicinity of here.
Sure. If you'd like to give me a perception check, you certainly can.
I'm not a good perceiver. I'm a better investigator. I got a 10 perception.
Okay. So you don't see any tall towers that stand out. What I will say, you've heard stories of different kinds, even tales of deep, dark tunnels far beneath the earth that open into large caverns with towers and things like that. But you don't see any towers as you look out. You see, the ocean horizon behind the building. You see the city below you and the ocean beyond it, and then you see that graveyard further to like the north, because you would kind of walk north out of the village or city proper, with gravestones. You can see several small structures inside that you can surmise might be larger buildings or crypts, for more noble type burials, but no towers.
If they're trying eternal life, the traditional way to do that is necromancy. We could go check out the graveyard. Maybe it's there.
That's
Oh.
true. I'll look at Shield and be like, I don't trust these people as far as you can throw them.
No.
They definitely know what's going on, and like you said, they're definitely not letting on. The fact that, and I'll look at Sunny and be like, the fact that Alvira played that image and there was little to no reaction from them, even if they knew what happened. I mean, first of all, how did they know in such great detail what happened? The fact that there was some recognition there that perhaps was a little bit more in tune than just a report would have told them. I think they definitely know what happened. And the fact that this place is not even remotely guarded, like if the whole house collapsed, I think the first thing you'd want to do is at least guard the place where you're at. The fact that they haven't even really done that, I mean, shows, in my opinion, that they're not even worried about getting attacked because they know it's not going to happen.
There's no way there aren't more guards than we saw. This kind of place extends one hand to shake and has the other to stab.
Well, he was pretty elusive whenever we were talking about Lifka too. So I am almost under the assumption, almost 100% under the assumption that they're working together. And if they got folks behind paintings watching us, then clearly there's some reason for that, aside from random people just walking in, right? So
even if they don't necessarily work for Lifka, they're much more aware than they're letting on.
yeah.
So
To what end remains the question, but
I
we
mean,
could
we could try
assume
to
for
talk
now
to
they're with
dead
Lifka.
folks. We could try to
So
talk to dead folks in the cemetery. If there's any necromantic activity around, who's better to know than the dead folks? Sonny and I are both good at that.
that's true. That's true. And if anything happens, I can always just blast this place to hell.
I guess we could dig someone up as long as we put them back.
Well, we might not have to dig them
Yeah,
up. We might not have to dig them up
Oh,
because
they do
maybe.
sky burials here too.
Well, no, because I can call spirits through my cards. So maybe if I'm able to call a spirit through my cards, Sonny will be able to speak with the dead. We'll just have to work together.
Didn't actually prepare that today.
Cleric life.
I mean, I generally assume fireball is more fun.
Can we talk to spirits if you bring the spirits up, Alvin? Or is that not?
I think Sonny's more ready to make some spirits.
Yeah, I technically don't have the speak with dead spell. I'm just able to commune with them.
Like the commune with dead spell.
No. It's different. I'm a spirits bard, so
okay.
So I'm able, like, it's part of my person, right, to communicate with the dead, but I don't have any actual communicate with dead mechanics. So I'm able to conjure their spirits through tales, but I'm not able to communicate with the spirit that I conjure.
Right.
Well,
it's like they come and tell you their story. It's not really like a back and forth answer my questions. It's more of like, this is what happened to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're the bait and Sonny's the hook.
I think, yeah, exactly. Well, I think we can at least go to the cemetery. Maybe we'll find some clues there. I mean, there is some dark, creepy shadow that's over there. We might go over there and see what that's about. I don't know. Maybe that'll tell us something.
Oh, we can check out the mausoleum, and maybe the mausoleum leads to somewhere. You know how sometimes they bury folks deeper down underground than just in what do they call it? Crypts, burial crypts or something.
Okay.
Because if I was a necromancer, I would be hiding out in a place like this.
So you all are making your way to the graveyard?
Should we take a rest before we go deal with anything that can deal us damage?
Yes, let's take a short rest and eat some of the snacks that I definitely stole from the waiting room.
The fruits and whatnot, yeah.
Yep. I definitely put some of that in my macaroni purse.
So you guys kind of do.
A patty and an apple.
You sat there for, an hour or so waiting before they went to recess and came to talk to you. So it's, getting into early, late afternoon during this short rest. That hour, that like 1 to 2 o'clock where it starts to cross over. As you go, you sit there and you guys aren't far from the House of the Hearts, nor are you far from the cemetery. And it's really this weird like shadow. It's almost like there's a cloud hanging above it, but you don't see a cloud. So it's not like it's dark at the cemetery, right? But it seems like there's this like dim tint to it.
So like
Dread Ring,
Shadowfell Dread Ring type of feel?
Sort of, yeah. Like I said, imagine, like when it's really heavily cloudy and like it's sun and then that cloud passes over and there's that like shadow that creeps along. It's like that, but it's not moving or anything. It's just resting there.
Okay.
you know, you're watching a horror movie, they're walking down the street and it's bright sunny, and then they get into the cemetery and all of a sudden the sky is gray and it's dim and windy, like a storm's gonna blow in.
Interesting.
But otherwise your short rest is not significantly interrupted, as you guys aren't that far away. Probably about 40 minutes in, Lavinia does come walking out by you all. She says, "We had noticed that you were still here, so we were wondering if there was anything else I can do to help."
Nope.
No, we're
we're
just
good, thank you.
enjoying an afternoon in the sun, away from everybody. It felt like a nice place to rest, so we just decided to pop a squat here cliffside and enjoy a short afternoon nap.
It's a beautiful view, isn't it?
Really is.
Yeah,
Why
it was
so many
very,
people
very
to
peaceful
retire
until
here?
we were interrupted.
Like Sunny walks all the way up to the edge of the cliff and is like, I really like the view, and kind of leans forward a little bit.
Oh, you should be careful. Wouldn't want to fall and hurt yourself.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Ivy's gonna walk up to Sunny just close, just in case. Just in case.
And nothing happens. There's a breeze that for a second Sunny is slightly worried as the breeze hits, but Sunny doesn't really have a problem like standing there and resisting it. Ivy, I might have that reverse. Ivy might have a moment where she gets kind of worried.
Yeah, I get
I'm a
worried.
little worried for Ivy.
Yeah, I'm pretty I'm pretty with the like I'm just gonna go away.
But as I was gonna say, yeah, if no one else engages or anything after a few moments of awkward silence, like legit moments, she kind of walks back within the fence, but she's never far from the gate.
Okay.
Oh, we're
Yeah, I'm
definitely
gonna
watched.
give her the on Wednesdays we wear pink, you can't sit with us look very silently, like as she's like interrupting our peaceful afternoon rest. Just like kind of looking at her, you know? That like, are you leaving now?
We got Jesus on.
Sunny makes eye contact with her, kind of looks at Alvera, rolls her eyes a little bit, and just smiles and waves. Like, we're playing good cop, bad cop.
Yes.
But otherwise, your short rest is uninterrupted. You all enjoy a nice, pleasant. It's warm. You're on an ocean island. You know, it is very warm, but there's this nice like sea breeze that comes. You can smell, you know, the salt off the water. It's warm, but got a comfortable cross breeze going on, and you all enjoy the benefits of a short rest. Can, you know, arcane recovery and all that jazz. If anyone needs to do anything.
No, I don't think any of us have anything that happens on a short rest.
Yeah.
It's more along the lines of reset spell slots at a long rest.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
yeah.
we heal. We haven't long rested since combat.
Oh.
I thought
Oh, we
you had a
did.
beach day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
just.
guys-
All right, I forgot to reset my sheet. All right.
You're okay.
That explains that. I was like, I don't know why we're resty, but Sunny's happy to sit here and rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were like short
I-
rest. I was like, nothing's happened. I mean, I guess there was a couple teleportation circles, but like,
right.
Well-
identifies, but
You don't have to teleportation circle anymore because we have connected the lighthouses, so it's
Right.
a fast travel. Identify as ritual, so I don't burn spell slots for that.
exactly. Like,
But
but
I
it's always
did have
nice
some
to
other
enjoy a nice
stuff.
afternoon.
Yeah, I did have some other stuff from combat last time where I hadn't taken the long rest and reset everything. So I was just like, I can't do things if we go places because I gotta have a rest.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
you
no,
go
you're
down in that one?
Yeah, I got pretty
Yeah.
fucked up and I burned a lot of magic. So if we already long rested, then I'll just do that.
Yeah. This would have been like a new day after beach day, and
Good job, Huli.
Yeah.
but so yeah, the rest ends. So are you heading toward the graveyard? You go into town, go into the beaches or something? Okay.
Yeah,
So
graveyard.
as you all start walking toward it, I do need everyone to give me a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Okay.
You watch this shit. That
Let's fucking go.
charisma was a
Is
nat
it
20.
charm?
I bet you this is gonna be a.
Is
It
it a
is.
charm?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
I knew it.
Yes, I do believe so. Let me double check the wording of the specific spell.
I got a nat 1.
Oh! Oh
I
no!
got a 17.
Okay.
I got a 26, so I definitely
Okay.
passed.
I got advantage on charm. That's why I needed it. Charm or frighten. So that's why I needed to know.
Sweet baby shield. Oh wait, don't I also have my staff?
Yeah, I don't know if this actually qualifies as like a charm, but it's definitely enchantment, so I'll allow it. So we had a 17, a 26.
Yep, it's actually a 28 plus 2.
Okay.
A 1.
A 1?
Shield got-
Okay.
What do you
was
got?
that, Sonny?
24.
24? Okay. So the three of you are fine as you start walking. Shield, you get the sudden urge to go anywhere but here, and that you need to convince your party of that. As if the suggestion spell.
Oi! I'm not going this way no more.
Okay.
There's something down in my gut. The rest of you probably shouldn't either.
What you mean? What do you mean you're having a gut feeling?
I got a bad feeling about this.
I mean, we're going to a cemetery, so that makes sense. But
No, I ain't going.
All right, Shield. I'm gonna spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch my feathers over you as I give you a calm emotions spell, which you can choose to fail, but it will suppress any effect causing you to be charmed or frightened.
Oh.
What about now? Do you feel better now?
Am I cognizant that there was definitely like a magic ting that made me feel that way, or is it
Yeah, you
kinda just
can,
a weird heebie-jeebies?
So it's a DC 17 charisma.
No,
saving-
not for the calm emotions. For the suggestion.
I don't think so. Nothing in this spell specifies that it is known. Your heebie-jeebies, that's a good way to describe it. But yeah, you essentially got this like chill, and you were like, not happening. And then you're like, Elvira's talking to you. She does her magic wing waves, talk to ghost stuff. And you're like, okay, I think I can do this. Yeah. And it's sudden, but the way that, you shift from that fear to comfort again, it's still a creepy feeling. Like you guys said, no one's necessarily comfortable going here, but it's no longer this hard wall that you feel like you can't overcome.
All right. Push on.
So you all begin walking. If you guys aren't keeping a fast pace, it probably takes 15-20 minutes to walk the 1.5 miles or 2 miles to the graveyard. And as you get there, it does have that very eerie effect like I described. You get there and some leaves blow past. You're higher up on the cliff, so the wind is a little stronger, bringing a little more bite from the ocean with it. It doesn't feel as warm up here. And you look out over what seems to be an empty graveyard. There are gravestones. You see 4 buildings in the corners. It's kind of a square with the gravestones in rows. But then in the corners, you see what you would likely have seen in other graveyards is like a fancier families, mausoleum or crypt entrance where it kind of opens, and there would be stairs that go into like tunnels underneath and catacombs where there are more and more bodies buried.
are there any names written on the family names written on the crypts?
There are. Is there like a specific name you're looking for?
We have some royal families. I can't remember their names.
Hold on,
Isn't one of the acolytes from here?
Is it the Atazan? Is that the one you're looking for?
Atazan is one of them.
Yeah.
Vivariandi is one of them. Hold on.
Look at the one for Vivoriandi, because isn't that Livka's last name? Livka,
Yeah, that's Livka.
Yeah, so let's look for that one.
Sure. Honestly, you don't even need to roll for that one. I can tell you, you do not find a grave with that name on it.
Okay. So we're looking for Bungle and Madrigal as well.
Okay. If someone wants to go ahead and give me like a investigation, or you have a different kind of check you want to do, I'm always open to hearing from you guys. You know, if you think there's a survival aspect to checking these, or history, feel
I'll do
free.
investigation. I got 25.
Cool. So you do go. Most of the names don't seem that familiar to you. You do come across, and it makes sense as a wizard, with those studies, you've come across historical texts, and you don't find Madrigal, but you essentially find an older form of it. It's sort of like the Latin diphthong. Instead of Madrigal, it's Maedri, kind of. And you can tell that that's probably an older version of it. Maybe not anyone recent, but at some point there was a Madrigal here, long ago, possibly around the foundings or earlier.
Okay. I think this might be the one. This might be one we might want to check out. I mean, it looks like it's got one of the noble families' names on it. So
Yeah, that's a good one because that's one of the names. And we were trying to figure out who was from where. So we figured out Habersorn is Kamach Kalan. We figured out Atazan is
Is that Asperon?
Asperon. That's the one I'm looking for. So we were trying to figure out where Vivariandi, Madrigal, and Prophet Bungle were from. So Madrigal being here makes us 3 out of 5 where we know the location. So we just have to find out where Vivariandi is and Prophet Bungle, because I'm almost wondering if the young man that we ran into in Glaciava who was looking for the rapier, it was Livka Vivariandi.
could be.
But we still do we know where he was from?
No, that's Vivariandi and Bungle are the only two we don't know where they're from. And I think Bungle is from not Harboron, but the Broadwalk. I think Bungle is Broadwalk because that's where the Bunglers are. That's where Quint Bungler was from. Broadwalk.
I think I'll go up. I think I'll go up to the mausoleum.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, before I do anything to it though, I'm gonna look at Sunny and ask like, okay, like I'm not really sure about disturbing one's resting place. Is there something like clericy or whatever that we need to do before this? I should probably know this if I'm gonna be pretending to be a cleric. So
I'll walk you through the basics of a ceremony spell.
Oh, okay.
Sunny's not actually very good at religion, but most people worship the sun. That's it.
Right.
Clearly doesn't understand much of worship other than that it seems to work for her. She's like, oh, and mostly it's about just writing that the sun is good and great there, and is every day will follow. Any night will be followed by a day, and the sun will rise again. And much as there's a cycle, live and die, but the sun will always come back again.
Okay.
It is almost certainly the case that Ivy is better at religion than Sunny.
Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll just put my. Is there a door? Is there a door or something on the?
Yeah, it is like a large stone door.
Right.
I imagine in these days the mausoleums weren't necessarily built to be entered regularly. It was more a place to store the dead and go underneath.
Right.
But with some effort, you would be able probably to open it.
Okay. I think before I try to open the door, I'm just gonna put my palm against the door and be like, just whisper, "The sun loves you," and then just open the door.
Okay.
And then open the door.
And you do open it, and there's this, for a moment, it doesn't seem like it's going to move, and then there's this screech of that stone door grinding on the stone of the floor, and it opens into this dark area. There is no light in here. And if those of you with dark vision or from the dim light coming in from outside can see stairways leading down about 30 or 40 feet. You can't really see where they come out, but there doesn't appear to be any kind of light down there.
Okay.
I mean, I can fix that. I always have light.
I was going to say, I don't know specifically who has dark vision or who doesn't, but as you all enter into the darkness and start going downstairs, there is a moment before you all hear a high-pitched cackle from behind you, and that screech, but much faster. As the door is slammed shut behind you, you're plunged into utter darkness, no longer dim light reaching from the outside. You all see the form of what appears to be some kind of elderly woman for a split second before it disappears into the darkness. And I think that's where we're going to end for today.
Okay.
Okay.
What was